pharahos wrote everything about them and about their life, but there's one thing they did not mention: the way they built, cause they lied about what they built, and it was bigger than their powers, so they cannot explain how Egypt's giant buildings built. The monkey statue pharahos write on him: the pyramids builders, the arm of one of them is by 1,000 men arm. Even pharaohs admit of the pyramids builders. Yes, they lied about the rest, but the pyramids would be a big unbelievable lie if they say we built the pyramids were temples for the stars, and every star they were praying for. There is pyramid as temple under it. The scientifics said every location of the pyramids is related to star. Front of it, pyramids are signs for stars. Maps, for example, Giza pyramids, the location of it and the size, sign for 9.rouaa star group. And one day of year, Sirius star will be horizontally with pyramid in, and the light of the star go through the hull and the pyramid and light it all. But Jewish will never let us see all pyramids room. The truth is will be clear if they let people see those rooms, but they cannot let them to see it. Pyramids are not graves. The truth is ad hallow the stars, especially the brighter of them, Sirius and Quran. God said, talking about his great self, and he is the God of Sirius, and he took the first ad down in Quran. God show us that there is no great building like Ad Aram and columns. Arams is Arabic word out of the word haram, which is mean pyramid. Egyptian known Sirius for more than 48,000 years. They were think it's the reason of the good pasture and farming, and this happened only in summer, and Sirius appears in summer, so they used to build line of rocks, sign of the location of where the star appears. And they used to say the light of Sirius light the pyramid for the queen to cry for the death of King Iris, and the ravers her tears. Now America and Jewish hallow the stars like pharaohs did, because they had similar heart. Like Quran said about unbelievers, all of them had similar hearts, and all this idea came from Ad.
Basically, the belt of Orion aligns with the star of Sirius. So if you follow the pyramids in the exact alignment as where the belt of where the star of Sirius is, you're going to get to the point of the Mustafa Mahmoud.
star Sirius, the largest star in the night sky. Well, as above, so below. The three great pyramids on Earth, which represent the stars in Orion's belt, also point to the Sirius one on Earth, or Sirius on Earth. And that Sirius on Earth is, as we've seen, is the six-pointed square Medan we're standing in right now. And right in front of the Medan, we have right over there, moving the shape of an owl.
That's the modern interpretation of Moloch.
And thus, the god Moloch still guards over the Syrian doorway in Mustafa Medan in Cairo, Egypt. And I want to point out another thing, that this whole Medan is made on the shape of an eye, with this point being the pupil of the eye.
The hexagram is the center of the Star of David, because it's 6 pointed star. And so this hexagram is drawn up by 6 other hexagrams, so it's like you put 6 Stars of David with one major one in the middle, creating like the ultimate Star of David.
And all day long, the energy of the vehicles rotate around this Medan in a ritualistic manner.
Right here, where the word Sirius is on, focused on.
And on Eid, oddly enough, it's the gathering place where millions of Egyptian Muslims pray Salat Eid. And this very Medan, all around this area.
Just the way to focus the energy. We've got the buildings over here, and you notice there's like thousands of people just that are moving down this way, and they're moving down this way. They're basically charging the electricity that's coming through. And basically just the electricity is the energy that's coming through over here, being focused on this spot. And then of course we got the guys looking over.
Who were the ancient peoples of the world? And what did they know? Egyptology tells us that the pyramids were built around 2500 BC. Is there evidence that the pyramids could be much, much older? Has traditional science been able to explain why the pyramids were built? Or is it a puzzle yet to be decoded? At the geodesic center of the world, at the mouth of the Nile Delta, there are pyramids built by an early civilization clustering at 6 distinct sites. One pyramid is up a mountain. It can be seen from space. Curiously, the inside is open to the air. What was its function? Most people are familiar with the Giza Plateau and the Sphinx, but are not aware of their connection to the other sites. The sites run parallel to the fertile band along the Nile. Some sites are unknown, isolated in the middle of the desert. Other sites are known, but are only partially excavated. The monumental nature of the sites is hypnotic and stimulates our wonder and curiosity. All the sites show evidence of sophisticated engineering, advanced technology, and monumental architecture. Could the ancients have had an understanding of a superior science? Is it conceivable that there's a correlation between the sky and the ground? Why do we understand so little about the Egyptians? We are told their technology was primitive, yet the temple walls show the ancients making precise calculations. There is plenty of evidence that paints a fuller picture. Let's go and see for ourselves.
So here we are on location at Abu Raush, which is a fascinating site in that it's up a mountain. It really debunks the theory of pulling stones with rope to get them up on top of a pyramid, in that the stone would have to come up a mountain before it went up a pyramid. This site is largely isolated and abandoned, and many people don't even know it's here. There's no booth, there's no guard, there's nobody up here. And I think it's meant to be largely forgotten because it really comes head to head with the theory about the way the pyramids were built. When you look around the site, you see evidence of small stones that are newer, medium stones, and then the ancient large stones.
At Abu Raush, we can see evidence of machine tool marks. We know the granite came from distant quarries. The polished, concave slabs of stone could not possibly have been made with chisels. This is not the only example of machine tooling.
We're now going to go inside the pyramid. We're walking along this ledge. And what we'll see is there's a passageway here that goes down into the pyramid, even though it's open and exposed. So let's go down. If you stand here, all the way through this area, the stone seems to be blackened, and it's evidence of high heat of some kind. I tend to think this was going on during the ancient times, but it's still very curious. There's a pit here, and the stone's obviously broken, and I think that they were heating something. This is the northern point of the Band of Peace. It's the top pyramid in a series of 22 pyramids that go from north to south. So we're now north of the Giza Plateau.
As you can see on this map of the Band of Peace, all these sites trace the shape of the River Nile. A new theory suggests that the Nile once flowed right in front of the pyramids, and the causeways of all the sites touched the river itself. Considering that the Nile is the lifeblood of Egypt, just as rivers all around the world are vital to the cultures living by them, it seems obvious that important sacred structures would be built directly on the river, not 8 miles away from it. How long would it take this river to migrate 8 miles? Looking at geological time provides yet another clue to finding out when these magnificent structures may have been built.
this probably was a seabed and that the mouth of the Nile started here and that moved along in front of all these pyramids. One of the features of each of the sites in this area is that you can see the pyramids of the next site from the original.
From here, the volume of the Great Pyramid and the Second Pyramid looks the same. When we get to the next site, we see the volumes are obviously different.